Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. On this channel, XRP, XLM, and XDC have all garnered a lot of attention. When we take a closer look at crypto bubbles, 2 of those 3 are in the top 100 gainers. On the other hand, XDC? It will be discussed in this video with XRP and XLM as expected. When we take stock of what's transpired over the past, let's say a month, we can see that it's been quite a roller coaster. After the elections, things really got going. For some reason, after watching the films and paying attention, many individuals still weren't ready for what was happening with these older coins, and now they're all taken aback by what happened. As I've mentioned countless times in the past few weeks and months, they weren't prepared for the impending huge move, so they didn't pack nearly enough. Now that we've arrived at this point, I believe it's necessary to discuss the matter, as the practicality of these 3 initiatives will continue to surprise many. Now, if we take a closer look at XRP once more, we can see that many of these projects are experiencing a pullback. This is great news for us because, depending on how far this possible pullback goes, it could present us with awesome buy opportunities again. However, it's understandable that everyone is starting to feel pessimistic about these projects, especially after such a big move, especially in the last month. By every measure, these projects were successful to an unprecedented degree. I mean, XLM has gained 455% in the past month, so any dip is great. It's good for you. And I will be sure to keep an eye on these to see how far they go. However, the total 24-hour volume of XRP and XLM is extremely comparable. They are in a virtual tie for first place. Additionally, XDC is available. Now, XRP has increased by 164% in the past month, thus XDC's 124% gain is not insignificant. I mean, XLM is clearly an anomaly with a 500% increase, but XDC has been steadily rising as well. A fair amount, you know. The volume has clearly been declining. However, I have been keeping an eye out for a rise in volume. I would greatly appreciate it if XDC could provide me with a greater number of listings. When it comes to XDC, I really believe that would be rather helpful. I can't believe it isn't listed on Binance, Coinbase, or some other huge exchange. Okay, so I'm being optimistic, not conservative, because we have no idea what the future holds, but I do believe that it will happen someday, ideally before the year ends. That would be quite amazing. The future is completely uncertain to us. I have been discussing these 3 projects non-stop while we have been looking at them. Alright, yesterday on X, I mentioned that I watched XLM break 60 cents while streaming live. By the way, I want to thank everyone who stopped by the live stream, especially the many who left fantastic thanks. There was immense joy felt by all. My sincere appreciation goes out to the live stream. It was a smashing success. However, I did mention that the reason behind this is quickly becoming apparent to everyone. The X's are about to shock everyone, thus I've always recommended to stack XRP and XLM. XDC, XRP, XLM, and IE. You might say they've startled a lot of people already, but I still believe the market's largest shifts are yet to come, particularly when considering alt season and the overall shape of the season. Just yet, we haven't arrived. I believe the most significant changes are still to come to the space, although we are witnessing a number of outliers, such as XRP XLM and XDC, begin to experience a significant upswing due to news regarding Gary Gensler, the SEC, and crypto adoption and innovation in the US. Where do I envision these 3 going, if we're thinking about that correctly? We shall deal with that. But before I go into that, I also want to address this topic here. It dates all the way back to 2023, when I expressly discussed these 3 projects, why do I keep on to them, in a post. Which, well, a lot has transpired in the time since. I really have less XDC in my holdings now. Once again, I had to pare down my holdings. Sorry it's so obvious, I just had way too much and needed to pare it down to something more manageable. This is due to the fact that I have conducted sufficient research to determine the exact sizes of these three. What I have discovered via my investigation is worth discussing. Because it is a fundamental asset for a future dominated by digital currencies and things on-chain like tokenized assets, which we are now beginning to witness becoming a reality, I do talk about how XRP will be a pillar for the digital global payments network that could dwarf any global traditional network itself. On the other hand, XRP and XLM are two that pop up frequently across the board. Lots of paperwork. And I've always considered XLM a major participant in the value movement, comparable to XRP but with a focus on the P2P area, or retail. Stellar has grown significantly recently, particularly with Franklin, Templeton, Wisdom Tree, and related projects. To name just two examples, XDC is bringing a $19 trillion asset class into the digital age, and I believe these two will soar to even greater heights if utility is integral to the value extraction of these assets. This is where distributed ledger technology, DLT, comes into play. Digital breakthroughs in trade finance have failed owing to exorbitant costs, and the industry is ready for a shake-up. In addition to their existing collaborations with the DSI, TD, the ITFA, the DNI, and the ICC, XinFin has built a web of networks through platforms like TradePhoenix, which also have access to SWIFT. The ICC has also acknowledged the importance of XDC and XinFin. When we take a closer look at these utilities projects, you'll see that they make up a significant portion of my portfolio. My belief in the technology's future is what drives this. I don't think it's necessary for me to tell you that the technology will be huge, even when we consider RWA XYZ. The greatest number of RWA TVL is associated with these networks. Marketplace vendors. As expected, XDC comes in at number 14. With the widespread acceptance of tokenized assets, nevertheless, I do believe that these will eventually expand substantially. On the other hand, if we take a look at the market as a whole, we can observe that the number of TVL surrounding RWA is increasing dramatically, reaching over 13 points, about 5 billion. A lot of news has been happening with tokenization. This is where we could observe it in action. I mean, just look at the most recent news. RTB XYZ has this. Imagine if all these major financial institutions, like Goldman Sachs or Franklin Templeton, jumped on board. I mean, institutions are pouring their money into tokenization, so it's no surprise that many banks have joined the fray. Yeah, we've seen institutions around for a long, but their big picture strategy is only now becoming apparent. Even taking a closer look at the institutional funds in question reveals just three: Securitize, Superstate, and Republic. However, Securitize is one of the names that can be seen if you look closely enough. It is time to securitize. I don't know if it will name them or not, but I think we could see them in US Treasuries. For instance, there's the DTCC, which settles securities transactions worth over $3 quadrillion annually. One of the leading entities is them. Franklin Templeton is another one of ours. Naturally, BlackRock is also present. Plus, I could go on and on. I already have millions of dollars invested in Stellar and XDC, but it's crazy to see these major players enter the space. We also know that players like Axlar, Arcix, Open, Eden, and others are beginning to attach millions and millions of dollars to the XRP ledger. They are not yet associated with our Premier XYZ, but I think the XRP ledger will be listed here at some point, and then we will see how much money is actually related to it. However, I include these two since they have already experienced significant development and have been involved in the tokenization field. Much obliged for taking the time to watch my video. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye for now.